Okay, so we got something different today for Samurai Sunday. As we all know, samurai were basically like knights, but highly educated. And today I'm gonna show you. I'm not an expert. I haven't practiced in a while. Shodo. And what is Shodo? Shodo is Japanese Zen calligraphy, the art of it. There's 4 different styles. There's Risho, Kaisho, Goyo-sho, and So-sho. So there's 4 different styles. As you can see, the first one's very simple. The second one, not too bad. Try and get that in there. Now you're getting a little bit more complicated, and So-sho is the most complicated one. Now, it's all based on kanji, which comes from China, their writing system, but it's developed over the years. Here's a very simple one right here. There's a very simple one. And then more elaborate right there. So, you can learn how to do Shodo. Now, is this a book that's really teaches you? Not really. But the benefit of this book is it tells you how it's done. And then what makes this book so nice, let me find an easy example here. Here we go. Is it tells you the direction that you need to go in. Okay, hopefully the camera's picking it up right there. So it tells you directions. All right, that for each stroke. The more complex it gets, the less you pick the brush up. You do it all in one fell swoop. So it can be very, very difficult at times. So I'm going to try an attempt to do some for everybody. Let me find like really simple ones here that I can do. Now, the brushes are all different too as well. You have basically what you would call almost a fine, medium, and coarse, you could say. So these are the brushes. So that one you could tell is kind of like a medium, and you could tell the brush is a lot bigger. So the brushes are going to give you different sizes of strokes or the width. So we're going to try using the smaller one here. Rice paper can be expensive, so I suggest you get just cheaper paper that you can use. We have an art tile that we do a bunch of stuff on. So the other thing you'll need is a holder, and basically when you're not doing it, you just put it on the holder. And then of course an ink tray. And the ink trays have, if you can kind of see it right there, a little pour spout so you can pour the ink back into the bottle when you're done, so you don't waste it. Water droppers is a really good thing. So if you need to dilute the ink down, you can do it, just like don't overdo it. That's why I get a dropper bottle just with plain faucet water, and just put like a drop or 2 in there, so that way you're not overdoing it. Now you can get kits like this one's an ink stick. I'm not going to show how it's done, but basically what you do is you want, see, these are plastic, so we need like more of a iron or whatnot ink tray. Because what you do is you'll sit here and you'll rub this on here. Basically you're grinding it down. And then what you do is you'll take your water drops and you drop the water in there and then start mixing it. So that's what these are. These are actually ink sticks. And then, because this was a kit, so here's the ink. You want to try and get the ink that's used for it. Let me see here. I forget the name of it. Let me see if I can't find it in the book really quickly. Sumi. S-U-M-I. Sumi. Sumi ink. If you do have pets, put them away. The cats are locked up right now. And then for, like I said, this is a kit. You want your brushes to hang. So this kit came with all these brushes. Well, actually, it came with the brown ones. And then these ones we ordered separately, but it'll hold a lot of brushes. So you get different sizes. And it's just off of Amazon. And if you notice, there's different ways on the brush that you can hold it, because you don't hold it like this, like we do. You don't hold it like that. Let me see if I can't remember here. Okay. So you hold the brush. See how my fingers are? They're placed kind of in the notches. This is to teach you how to hold it, basically. And you don't move your wrist. You move your arm and your body. Okay? So think of it like you're cutting. You don't use your shoulders and your arms. You use your core muscles. It's the same almost like concept. Not quite, but almost. Now this stuff, the nice thing about this, it has just like a little spout, and we're going to put some ink in here. Now you only dip the brush once, and I'm only going to put what I think I need in there because I cannot put it back in these bottles. So basically what you do is you get your brush and you kind of just put some on there. You don't want it dripping, okay? You don't want it dripping. And the other thing you want to do is, this may not be heavy enough, but you want to put a weight on the front end of your paper that you're using. And I'll do a simple deal that most people know. And you can steady your arm if you need to. So basically the brush is going to be up like this, and then, see, so something like that. I need more ink so that comes up better. Hopefully this ink isn't bad. So you just put, there we go. So most of us have seen the Zen circle. Let me put some more ink in this. There we go. Don't want too much in there. And I'm just using sheet pads, writing sheet pads is all I'm doing. So we'll take this guy and I will put it over here. There we go. So hopefully this ink isn't bad, because it could be very, very easily. And if I think this brush isn't doing too good, I will switch over to another brush, which I can easily do. Alright, so like this one, Let me see if I can't do it. We're going to put a little dip right there. As you go, you just pull off your brush. There we go. Yeah, I think this ink is going bad. But it's kind of like that. Kind of like that. Let's see about a different one here. So yeah, this ink will sometimes go bad on you. So you have to get new ink. So let's go to the front of the page where I had a really simple kanji here. But if you get good enough, you can do stuff like that. So, which is kind of cool. It's actually really kind of like meditative to do. So I'm going to use a little bit different brush. Well, actually, I'll use the bigger brush is what I'll do. And you just rinse these out with water. So the same way, these ones are different, but I'm going to use a much wider brush for this. So we would start in the center. You're going to kind of come down, go like this, and then swoop up. Bring that out, and then this one is going to go kind of like that. That one's kind of messed up, and this ink is really bad. So may have to get our other ink that's never been opened. Let me see here. We have 2 trays, so let's move that one, and I'll try a different bottle here. It's very watery stuff. There we go. Yeah, this stuff looks maybe a little bit better because it should spread out a bit when you do it. So we may have to get new ink. And this isn't heavy enough. They do make weights that you can buy for Shodo. Like I said, you want to get that ink in there, just not dripping. You don't want it to drip. So that's bad. Yeah, this stuff's way better. And then you lift off so you can see the difference. And then this one, like that, and then like that, and kind of like that. It's like doing a K, basically. So yeah, that ink was not very good, and that's not a very good Shodo. So But, and every time you go to do another one, you want to dip your brush. Just don't redip it. So let's try the Zen circle again, and you move your body. So it goes. There we go. Not too clean, but that's how you do. Oh, there we go. That's how we do. They do the Zen circle. It's just like that. And then you just lift off. When you lift off, you kind of tilt the brush sometimes and pull straight off. And with these brushes, you can reform them on your tray so they're back like that again. So it's good to know that this ink is bad. So now let's find a different one to do. Like I said, this tells you the directions you need to go in, which is really nice to have. So if you want to learn, you can get this book. Just so you know, it's not an easy one. Like I said, it's called Shodo, the Quiet Art of Japanese Zen Calligraphy. And it is done by Shodo Sato. He is a Shodo teacher. So now the thing with Japanese calligraphy is if you know how to read and write it, modern day, it doesn't necessarily mean you could read and write Japanese calligraphy or kanji from the Edo period, because it's changed so much. From my understanding, it takes years for people in Japan to learn how to actually speak and write ancient Japanese. So we're going to try another one. Let's see here. And I'm trying to look at the numbers here so I get it semi-right. Okay. So here's this one right there. It doesn't look too pretty. It takes time to learn it, but it was basically this one right here. And then right down here, it shows you the numbers and which way you need to go. Because there's a certain direction that you use when you do Shodo. And then here's a really tricky one. And this is one of the complex ones. It only has two motions, so I'll try it. And it's basically this one right here. So you only have two moves. This one, and then you do that. All in one swoop. So I'm kind of liking this big brush, so I'll stick with it. Let's get some more ink. Yeah. Doesn't look anywhere near it. Those are really hard to do when it's all one motion. It really is. And you will go through a lot of paper. You don't have to do it big. You can start off small doing it. That's for sure. So these soak up a lot of ink when the ink is good. So a long time ago, I used to know how to do Japanese kanji. I was no expert in it, so that's for sure. My arm got a little squiggly there. Needs to be a little bit closer, maybe a little bit smaller. So it's a fun thing to learn if you have the patience. Here's a good example of really complex Shodo. And a lot of these is one motion. 1 to 2 motions, some may have 3. So it's not like something you'll pick up and just right away do it. There's certain ways you angle the brush and what have you, because you can go and then come straight down and lift up, and then go down, things like that. So that's not very good neither. I gotta practice more. So that is Shodo, guys. That is the art of Japanese calligraphy. It's not like the calligraphy that we're all used to, you know, European style, where you have the pen and you do. I've done that too, where you dip it in the ink and then you start writing. You dip it in the ink and you start writing. I've actually done that. This is a lot different, and it's because we're used to holding something like that and then writing. Okay, it's, you know, you're just moving your arm, you're not moving your wrist. And sumi oil just washes off with water. It's totally water soluble. It will stain your hands though if you get it on there. Use something like this, like a tile or a scrap piece of wood is fine, just in case it does bleed through. It goes onto the tile. As you can tell, we've used this thing for a lot of different stuff. And it's not very expensive to get the set to do Shodo. These brushes, they're okay. All right. I forget where we got these. Don't get them at Hobby Lobby. I've checked those ones out. They don't look like they're that great, because the best brushes, because I think these brushes are off of Amazon, and this came in the kit and is Amazon. These brushes, if I remember correctly, the hairs are actually squirrel hairs, and that's the best type of brushes to use, is squirrel hair brushes. Okay, they hold the ink better and the hairs form better. That's why you can reshape these really, yeah, even after you wash them, they'll reshape really nicely. And you just hang them. Always hang them. Don't lay them down, hang them. So like this one is kind of flared out, but it will reshape real easily once it's wet. So if anybody wants to try Shodo, there's a reference book for you guys. And yeah, just go on Amazon. They have them on there. Just look to see if they're actually squirrel hair. The imitation hair, I've heard some work, some don't work very well because they don't hold the shape like you need. So it's user preference. I find that the squirrel hair ones work really good and they last. The hairs don't fall out neither. So, and because you really don't want that neither. We've had this kit for over a year now. So, not too bad. Alright guys, that's all I have for you for Samurai Sunday Shodo and what it is. So, you guys take it easy and we will see you all next time.